Christina King, and in the middle, it's Tiana Muldrow for the West Virginia Mountaineers. The Lady Raiders today going with Angel Hayden, along with Brittany Brewer, Grayson Bright, Zuri Sanders, and Erin DeGreat. And it'll be Brittany Brewer going for the Lady Raiders in the center circle up against Christina King, the 6'3" senior from Maybain, North Carolina. And the tip is won by West Virginia, and this is Shania Ray. She leads the Big 12 in minutes played at 39.2 a game. At one point in time this season, she went 6 straight missing. Ball goes out of bounds to the Lady Raiders as Zuri Sanders providing a little pressure, and that's what the Lady Raiders are going to need today, one and done.
Absolutely. They've got to make sure that their inside game is a real big plus factor for them. Don't think for a second that Mike Carey doesn't remember the last time he was at United Supermarkets Arena. He lost.
Yes, that was last year on January the 11th. Lady Raiders actually own the home court here over West Virginia, 3-2. They've played 12 times. Zuri Sanders will go inside to DeGreat to Brittany Brewer. She lays it up and in. Brittany Brewer playing with freedom in her mind, not going to worry about making mistakes, and she didn't there.
Definite size advantage, and she really took advantage of it.
Pardee with the shot missing, Brittany Brewer with the rebound, and that's where the Lady Raiders have an advantage, Craig, inside, because they have the ability to out-rebound this team. The problem is they commit so many turnovers that it leads to points the other way. DeGreat going inside from Brittany Brewer and cannot get it, and there's a whistle and a foul.
You know, Erin DeGreat had 20 points against West Virginia at West Virginia. She was a force inside. With Brewer playing at her A game and DeGreat, it could be trouble for West Virginia on the inside.
Grayson Bright will throw it in. The officials today, Lisa Mattingly, Bob Tramble, and Cameron Inouye, as the Lady Raiders turn it over, and that's been the bugaboo for this basketball team throughout the Big 12 portion of the season. Foul just a moment ago went on Christina King. That's her first and the first team foul.
You know, really nice pick and roll that time by West Virginia. They got the ball to the wing, and then that's something they do. They really set a lot of picks out on the wing.
Angel Hayden is going to be important for the Lady Raiders today just to control the basketball. She goes all the way inside, can't get it to go. The rebound goes down to Katrina Pardee. She had 8 points the other night against Texas. She averages 12 and 3 rebounds a contest. Inside missing is Davenport. Rebound is saved from going out of bounds there by Christina King. Now they'll work it around to Pardee. Pardee is from Cedar Park, Texas. And so she'll have some fans here in the stands today. Her parents travel a lot to watch her play, and obviously getting to Morgantown's a bit of a challenge. All right, jump ball there as Grayson Bright went to the floor to tie things up. And the thing about Grayson Bright is she has so much energy, and she plays with a lot of energy. They would just like her to be able to kind of shoot the ball a little bit better and hang on to it better, too.
You know, she really needs to slow her tempo down. When she is under control, she can be a really factor in the offense for Texas Tech.
Into the game for Texas Tech, Lindsay Wilby. Lindsay, the other night against K-State, had 8 points and 7 rebounds. She leads the team in made threes. Lindsay goes inside, throws it up, and is going to commit a travel. She had the ball hit the underneath portion of the rim, but Lindsay Wilby is 27 of 88 from distance so far this year. That's 31%. Conversely, West Virginia's number 1 3 is Katrina Pardee. She has 56 already on the season. Here is Davenport. Davenport with the shot missing. Rebound comes down to West Virginia. They'll throw it back out top to Davenport to reset the deck.
If you're Texas Tech, you can't give up those offensive boards to West Virginia and let them have second and third chance points.
Davenport is going to be fouled by Zuri Sanders as she was going through the lane. Zuri was just trying to get in there and kind of put a hand in there and try to knock the ball away.
And Davenport, 6-foot guard, can score from outside, so you've got to respect that. But she will penetrate and take you to the hoop.
On the inbounds, they struggle just a bit to get it to Pardee. Pardee is dangerous. She'll go back in the corner to Muldrow. She's dangerous from 3, and she's got it.
Muldrow is 6'1" forward who does not play inside but can step outside and hit the 3 just as she did in that corner that time.
She had 18 the last time these two teams played. She averages 19.5. She's their leading scorer and leading rebounder at 9 a contest. Just an outstanding player for Mike Carey. Ball is lost in the paint by Grayson Bright. It's Shania Ray. Ray's going to try to go coast to coast. Dishes off. They go back to Davenport. Davenport with the 3-ball. Count it.
And that's West Virginia at their best right there. And that's why Coach Jimmy Miller is going to talk to them.
8-2. West Virginia out on top early here in the first quarter. You are watching Texas Tech TV on Fox.
Said, hey, coach, she can't go today. She's been battling a lower leg or a lower body injury, but she will be able to go today. So hopefully we'll see Jada Terry worked back into the mix here today against West Virginia. Guys?
Jada Terry is on the bench ready to go. She did participate in the shoot-around this morning. Here we go inside to Brittany Brewer. Brewer trying to get it to Wilby, and Wilby's going to be, might be Aaron DeGreat that was fouled there.
Good high-low game by Texas Tech that time. Entry pass into Brittany. She tries to get it down low, and Aaron gets a foul. That's their bread and butter. They've got to score from the free throw line at the high pass or get it down inside.
DeGreat averages 8.7 points a ball game, a 47% free throw shooter. She leads the team, though, in scoring in conference play. And now here comes Jada Terry, who played just 2 minutes. She'll come in probably for Aaron DeGreat here in just a second. Played 2 minutes just in the K-State game the other night in which the Lady Raiders lost. Now here comes number 12, Jada Terry. And it's important to have her in the ball game. She averages 10.1 a contest, 6.3 rebounds a game. Is a 58% field goal shooter. Just 2 minutes, though, against K-State. Did not score, did not get a rebound. As the Lady Raiders here try to get a stop against the Mountaineers in the first quarter. It's important to stay within 10 points or less here in the first quarter of play, and that ball just spins all the way around and goes right down.
Muldrew finding the spot. Texas Tech coming out in the zone after the timeout. Coach Jimmy Miller said, hey, we can't be chasing around. Let's just make sure we play our zone, hands up, and play good defense.
Already West Virginia has 6 points off of 2 Lady Raider turnovers. That's been critical for them, and there's a turnover inside. Katrina Pardee intercepting the pass, and she'll give way to Shania Ray. Now on the baseline to Christina King. King guarded closely by
into a man-to-man.
And that will provide some pressure, and it's hard to keep that up, but they're going to have to probably do that against West Virginia. They get out there and defend against them. Inside, they get it to King, no good. The rebound comes down to Angel Hayden, and she'll push the ball quickly up the floor. The left hand to Lindsey Wilby.
Nice job of Lindsey making sure nothing was there and then taking control of the offensive set. No need to get in a hurry. Don't force the action if it's not there.
You know, it's okay to use all 30 seconds of the shot clock if you're the Lady Raiders today. Inside
nice
to Jada Terry.
By Brittany.
But she can't get it to go off the rim. Or off the glass, I should say. Here's Muldrow. She'll go coast to coast, puts it up, and she is fouled by Brittany Brewer going to the hole. And that's been a struggle inside. Just taking your time just a second, Craig, just to make sure that you have a good shot without trying to just throw it up so hard that it goes clean off the glass.
Here comes Brittany coming down the floor on the defensive end, on the fast break. You know, when you've got them in that position, don't foul, but make it contest the shot because you don't want to give them a chance at a three-point shot.
Muldrow with her 8th point of the game. She's a 82% free throw shooter. The team is a 70% free throw shooter. They're a good free throw shooting team, Craig.
And playing the pressure like they do and forcing the tempo on fast breaks, you're going to get a lot of opportunities at the free throw line.
Ashley Jones comes into the game. She's 5'7", a freshman from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She's the first one off the bench. So she now will take the point position, and they'll slide Shania Ray to a guard slot. Here's Jada Terry driving right down through it, but they're going to call her for a walk. She just shuffled her feet too much.
You know, Jada's got to be able to stop, take that little 5-foot jump shot. You don't have to take it all the time to the rim. You can stop. That mid-range 5-10-foot jump shot is available a lot of times instead of getting the turnover or the charge.
That's the 4th turnover on the Lady Raiders. Ladies had 30 against West Virginia back on January the 24th. That resulted in 38 West Virginia points.
Another one of those wing screens outside. Muldrew on the screen.
Doing a good job here. They're in danger of getting a shot clock violation, and they do in a backcourt. There should have been a shot clock violation there. It did not go off.
And I think that's the reason for the whistle.
And I think for a second there that they thought maybe that there was a change in possession, that Zuri Sanders shot off before it's the Lady Raiders basketball.
Yeah. So the shot clock was reset inadvertently, so West Virginia will get it back, but only with 1 second.
It's time for Pardee to put up a shot, and she misses. Shot clock violation. Ball goes to the Lady Raiders. During that stoppage of play, Bree Blair, you see her right there in front of Chimmy Gray Miller just for a second with the red hair, checked into the ball game. Bree has not played a whole lot in the last couple of games. She did not score against Kansas State, only played 2 minutes. She averages 8.9 points a ball game, 5.2 rebounds. Coach Mike Carey telling me last night that of the guards, she concerned him the most. Inside
nice
to Jada Terry, and she puts it up the glass and in.
Lindsay found herself looking down underneath, and Jada Terry was open. Nice shot off the glass for the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
That's the kind of execution the ladies need today to have a chance to win over West Virginia. Cannot leave her open. She takes the shot again, does Shania Ray, but missing, and on the subsequent rebound, there's a foul.
And, you know, we talked about the size inside for Texas Tech. They can't let them have those offensive rebounds like that. Here's the bucket by Jada Terry. Nice look by Lindsay and Whalen, and she gets it inside. Not Lindsay Whalen.
Lindsay Wilby.
Yeah, that's Wilby. Lindsay Whalen's a WNBA star.
Lindsay Wilby, you could see her kind of looking for help and looking to see what was going to be open, and she spotted Jada Terry and got the ball perfectly to her. So just a 6-point game here in the first quarter. Ladies trail 12-6. Just checking into the ball game just a second ago was Ayanna McKenzie, her first action in a couple of games. She's out with a shoulder injury. Angel Hayden with yet another rebound here this afternoon for Texas Tech, and she'll push it up the floor quickly.
And Ayanna McKenzie just did a really nice job one-on-one on Muldrow on defensive end of the floor.
She's a physical player. She has lethal elbows. Her dad was an NFL player, so her toughness, she comes by it honestly, but she is not afraid to swing them around there.
You know, she's very quick underneath for a big girl, and she does a really nice job of blocking out all the time.
All right, the
good handoff play by the Lady Raiders, but Pardee drawing the foul.
That's the first foul there on on Naomi Davenport, and it's the third team foul on West Virginia. Lady Raiders in control. Here's Wilby. Wilby trying to drive and puts up the shot. No good, but she's fouled by Tiana Muldrow. So that's going to be the fourth here with 2:58 to go in the first quarter. One more, and the Lady Raiders will be shooting free throws.
Good aggressive drive by Lindsay, and she really did a nice job of taking the ball to the hoop, drawing the 2-point shot.
And she was in the act of shooting, so she'll go to the free throw line. Lindsay averages 6 a game. She's a 51% free throw shooter. Ladies,
you know, Chuck, you can hurry at the free throw line just as well as you can hurry on your shot sometimes. If she'll slow that down, she's got a really nice shooting form.
Second one is good for her. So the Lady Raiders today 3 of 4 from the free throw line. They're 2 of 6 from the field, and they're within 5 here with 3 to go in the first quarter of play. Jones with the shot, and it's good.
Jones does a nice job of pushing the floor down. Ball down the floor, and then getting a little pass inside, and then spotting up for a little 15-foot jump shot.
She averages 2.7 points a game, so that's her 3 for the game. A screen, but trying to be set there by Ayanna McKenzie, and Ayanna's going to be called for the foul there against Christina King. She set the screen hard, but probably when she put her arms up to kind of block her, that probably is what caused the whistle there.
You know, and there's 2 parts to that play. One, a great screen by Ayanna McKenzie, setting it strong. But the second part is Angel Hayden rubbing shoulders on that screen, driving that player right into her teammate.
8-point lead for the Mountaineers here with 2 1/4 to play in the first quarter. And the jump ball is being called as Ayanna McKenzie was able to get in there and stuff Christina King. And so it keeps her from putting a shot up. She doesn't get called for a foul. The Lady Raiders have 14 fouls. That would have been the 5th, and they would have been shooting free throws. Instead, West Virginia will get the ball out of bounds on the alternate possession. Brittany Brewer now in the game for Texas Tech as Ayanna McKenzie checks out. Also, Zuri Sanders back into the game for the Lady Raiders. Jones having problems getting the ball in bounds. Finally does. There to Destiny Harden, who just checked in for West Virginia. Here's Jones. Back to Muldrow. Shot about shooting it, but couldn't because Zuri Sanders is right in her face. 10 seconds on the shot clock here as Jones going around the free throw line and finds space and puts it up and in for the Mountaineers.
You know, the Mountaineers doing a really good job of playing inside out. They're penetrating and kicking out to the spot 3-point shooters, and in that time, Jones really did a good job of going all the way to the basket, getting a little easy put in.
And Texas Tech so far unable to take advantage of its size. And now there's a foul away from the basketball. It's going to be on Zuri Sanders, I believe. That'll be the 5th on the Lady Raiders.
Yeah, and here's West Virginia, what we're talking about outside in. They kick it, take it inside, take it back out to the three-point line, and then she uses a screen, goes inside, gets a little 4-foot jump shot.
And notice also how they have forced the bigs out of the paint area, which keeps Texas Tech from getting a rebounding advantage. Now, Zuri Sanders climbs up high to get that rebound off the miss by Davenport. This is Bree Blair. Blair has the ability to drive hard, not afraid to go inside, and she does. Puts up the shot, no good. Rebound comes down to West Virginia. Now Blair knocks it out of bounds.
You know, Bree Blair did a really nice job of penetrating, getting the ball inside the hoop, but you got to finish, and that's what she needs to work on the next time down the floor, is making that same strong move, but putting a good finish on the end of it.
Tech 2 of 7 shooting today. West Virginia's already put up 16 shots, Craig. They're 6 of 16, 38%. They're 3 of 7 from distance. This West Virginia team, in the previous 8 games, has made 73 threes and have 4 games with double-digit threes. Their opponents have only made 42 threes in that same time period. Inside, they try to get it. Ball is stolen away there by Texas Tech, Bree Blair, and then Angel Hayden has her pocket pick by Shania Ray, and West Virginia will stay in control as we're inside a minute to play here in the first quarter. Shot is up, no good. Rebound comes down to Brittany Brewer. She was able to stay inside and fight off Davenport.
And again, they had numbers, but what do? They penetrate inside, kick out for the three, not connected that time.
This is Grayson Bright to Wilby. Wilby leads the team in threes, and she's got it. A 3 there for Lindsay Wilby makes it a 7-point disadvantage for the Lady Raiders. Here's Pardee quickly back the other way, driving, missing. Rebound is knocked out of bounds by Bree Blair. Unfortunately, Brittany Brewer was probably right there to get the rebound, and Blair tomahawked it out of bounds.
You know, here's the three-point shot. You know, she's just set up good. Her feet are set. She's ready to shoot, and you're like you said, she's the leading three-point shooter for the Lady Raiders. She's a good player from that range.
It's her 28th 3 of the season. Again, Jones struggling just a little bit to get it in bounds, does to Pardee, and Pardee puts up the 2 baseline jumper. Nobody out there to defend that, and Katrina Pardee gets a bucket there for the Mountaineers to make it a 19-10 game. Here's Bree Blair with a 3, and she's got that capability too, and she pulls the Lady Raiders to within 6 here as they come down to the end of the first quarter. You'd really like to see a stop right here for Texas Tech.
Two good control offensive sets, getting a three-point play on both of them.
Now Muldrow against Brittany Brewer. She puts up the shot, and Brewer bails her out, and she gets the 2, and she'll go to the free throw line with 0.1 second to go in the first quarter, with a chance to make it a 9-point lead for West Virginia.
Muldrow is such a good athlete, makes you come out and guard her at the three-point line because she's a legitimate three-point threat, but she's also takes the ability of when you come out there, she'll take a big right to the basket.
All right, so she makes it 22-13. There's 0.1 second left here in this first quarter of play. Really, technically, not enough time to get a shot off, and the Lady Rays will just throw it in bounds, and that'll do it for the first period of play. After one quarter, our scoreboard reads Texas Tech trails 22-13. You are watching Texas Tech TV on Fox. Mike Carey, the coach of West Virginia, told me last night he figures his team needs to win 3 or 4 more to get themselves into the NCAA tournament. This is the first time that they played all season without being a ranked team. Today's Big 12 standings brought to you by Plains Capital Bank. Ride with the good guys at Plains Capital Bank as we get set for the second quarter. This is Haley Brudigam, who has just checked into the ball game. She's from Lubbock Cooper High School. Here goes Bree Blair, and she goes inside and gets it off the glass. Too good to make it a 7-point disadvantage. Let's go to Taylor Peters behind the bench.
Credit to Angel Hayden for leading the team in rebounds, but she said to her bigs, that's unacceptable. I got to have more aggression from you guys, and we have got to start using our length and using our size against West Virginia. She said, when you go back out there, I want to see more energy, and I want to see more aggression from you guys.
Foul there is on Grayson Bright as she was trying to knock the ball out from behind, so West Virginia will throw it in. It's the first team foul on Texas Tech here in the second quarter. Lady Raiders playing tough, and they are going to need some inside rebounding, as the three-point shot is no good for Davenport. They'll reset it back to Davenport. Tried to go inside, can't. Ball's bounced around all over the place, and finally into the hands of Bree Blair.
You know, Tech has just got to make sure that their inside game is staying strong, because they can't be out rebounded like they were in the first quarter, 10-7. That's their bread and butter, is that inside game, and that includes rebounding, and you've got to take advantage of that.
Brunegum, who you see dribbling the ball, her first game of the year was against West Virginia. She had to actually Uber from Pittsburgh to get to Morgantown and then played in the game later. As the shot clock goes off, the three-point shot will not go for Grayson Bright. And Brunegum was a walk-on, a redshirt junior from Lubbock Cooper High School here in Lubbock, and she was an addition as the team just kind of had some needs to help in terms of practice and additional bodies on the court. Now a foul is going to be called on Lindsey Wilby right there on the baseline in front of the Lady Raider bench. The crowd does not like it because Bree Blair was about ready to go back the other way quickly with it.
Let's take a look at it as Pardee is going to the basket, and it looks like the hands are straight up, but there must have been a little body on underneath the hands, because we got a foul and we're going to the free throw line with Pardee.
So Katrina Pardee, who's a 79% free throw shooter, goes to the line. She's from Cedar Park, Texas, 5'9", a junior. She had 6 threes against Texas Tech the last time they played.
A little interesting tidbit about Katrina Pardee from Vista Ridge in Cedar Park High School. She was a member of a 2-time NFL flag football championship while she was in Cedar Park.
How about that? She's also 10th in the Big 12 in minutes played. She averages 35.2 minutes per ball game. That's a lot, but that's pretty typical of this West Virginia team that really plays with 8 players. They've suited up 9 here today. Here's Bree Blair in the block area, missing. Nobody there to get the rebound. It bounces all the way out to Christina King.
And the Lady Raiders doing a good job of getting back on the press, except we got them one loose that time. And Tiana Muldrow made sure that she was open enough to get an easy bucket.
That's one that you don't want to let get loose, because she leads the team in scoring at 19.5 points a ball game. And she does not usually miss inside. She's a 52% field goal shooter. Now Blair almost loses it right there in front of the West Virginia bunch. Here's Bree Blair going inside. Can't get the shot to fall. Rebound is tipped all the way out to Pardee. Here come the Mountaineers quickly back the other way, and you're probably going to see a timeout here pretty quickly by Shimmy Gray-Miller, as the layup there was just too easy for Christina King. And that's what we're talking about with West Virginia, the ability to push the ball down the floor very, very quickly.
They want to put you in a situation where they've got numbers.
And quickly, it's a 13-point lead as Lindsey Wilby goes inside, and she's fouled.
And Chuck, a way to defend that when you've got a team that really likes to push it down the floor and get numbers is the person that's the furthest out when the shot's taken has got to get back, and then we've got whoever the team is that's getting back has got to have somebody else come back there and join them. You've got to get at least try to even up the numbers, or at least get to a 2-to-3 situation.
Wilby gets her 5th point of the night, or the day, I should say. Bree Blair also has 5, and for West Virginia, Tiana Muldrow already has 14 points. She's number 1, and then Jones has 5 as Wilby gets the second to fall for her. Lady Raiders so far today, 7 turnovers, but West Virginia's not really capitalized. They only have 8 points off those 7 turnovers, and that's kind of something we're keeping an eye on today. If Texas Tech can get it under 15 in terms of turnovers, that would be big news, because they've been averaging about 20 per contest.
Texas Tech trying to get into a zone to slow down the offensive penetration a little bit for the Mountaineers.
And there's a foul on Zuri Sanders as Zuri commits the foul there away from the basket, and that will be on Texas Tech, their 3rd team foul here with 6:56 to go in the second quarter. Anna McKenzie's going to check in for Zuri Sanders. Brittany Brewer also out there, Lindsey Wilby, and Angel Hayden along with Grayson Bright for Texas Tech. This is Muldrow against Bright. She puts up the shot. It's blocked by Lindsey Wilby out of bounds. Good alert play there by Lindsey inside the paint.
It is really good defense by Texas Tech that time. Jones came around on the screen and really had to go to her 3rd option on that out-of-bounds play underneath her own basket.
Jones again struggling to get the ball in bounds. Gets it to Shania Ray over to Pardee. It's been a little bit of a problem for them today. Here's Pardee on the baseline. Puts up the shot. Does King. No good. And the rebound comes down to whom? There's a whistle and a foul. And the ball will go to the Lady Raiders out of bounds.
Tiana Muldrow had held the ball and the arm after the missed shot, she goes in, tries to get the rebound, and gets hung up and gets the foul against Angel Hayden.
One of the things, the last time these two teams played in Morgantown on January 24th, is West Virginia had 32 points in the paint. So far today, they only have 10. Brewer missing. Rebound to the Lady Raiders. They'll reset the deck. That's a little bit outside for Brittany Brewer. She has yet to attempt a three-point play shot on the season, but they want her taking those shots. They want her not being afraid to either make a mistake or just put up the shot. So they're not too displeased with that. Inside, it's Ayanna McKenzie off the missed shot, and she gets it to go up and in.
And Angel Hayden did a good job of penetrating, but she also kept the ball alive for McKenzie to be able to get that basket.
Now a three-point shot over there for Shania Ray, no good. Muldrow tries to put up the shots, knocked out of her hands. Pardee comes up with a loose ball, and she puts up a high archer inside the paint and makes it.
Again, keeping the ball alive on the offensive boards, and Texas Tech's got to do a better job of making sure they block out and don't let them get second chance points.
Hayden controlling the show for the Lady Raiders. Again, trying to be somewhat patient and get a shot that they want. Bright to Brewer. Brewer will try to drive, turns around, puts up the shot, and hits it. Brittany Brewer had a double-double the other night against Kansas State, in which she had 24 points and 13 rebounds.
And she's playing aggressively on the offensive end. She's not timid. She's taking what they give her and trying to do what she can do within her own limitations.
That's her second bucket of the day as we enter the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter. And King will try to drive down low and can't get the shot to fall. Muldrow gets the rebound, and she turns around and hits it. It was
again,
pretty close. Yeah, pretty close to being a Lady Raider rebound there, but the second chance points are big for West Virginia. They have 7 so far here today. They had 14 the last time these two teams played. West Virginia team didn't shoot the ball well the other night against Texas. They only shot 31% from the field as Wilby gets her second three of the day. Boy, the three-point shot can just put you back into a ball game so quickly. It energizes your team and your crowd and gives you the extra point.
And they need Wilby to be strong at that three-point line, so it'll open up that inside game a little bit. You have to respect it when somebody can sit out there and hit those three-point shots.
West Virginia being bothered by the Texas Tech defense. They're really having to work for their points here today. That's not something they're necessarily used to. Shot is no good, but the rebound comes down to Shania Ray. Now Pardee almost loses it, gets it back to Ray in front of the Lady Raider bench.
A little zone action by Texas Tech, forcing them to take those shots and not try to get the ball inside, but they do this time, and they get a rebound off of it.
Muldrow bounces off of Ayanna McKenzie. Can't get the shot to fall. I'm sure she was kind of throwing off her game a little bit, and then McKenzie gets the rebound. And they have missed the physical play of Ayanna McKenzie. She has a shoulder problem that goes out of socket. And the bank is open here in Lubbock on Saturday as Grayson Brighton knocks it off the glass. And Mike Carey calls a timeout. He is not happy. It's a 5-point deficit for the
Mountaineers.
So the Lady Raiders are 4 of 5 from distance. West Virginia 3 of 11 from distance. They're 12 of 31 from the field for 39%. And Texas Tech is making this one a ball game. The West Virginia Mountaineers have already lost today at home to Oklahoma State. And the ladies are in a little bit of a fight here today in Lubbock as Texas Tech is now employing Jada Terry inside. And Bree Blair comes up with a loose ball, a turnover by West Virginia. A chance here to make it a 2-point ball game. Angel Hayden, Bree Blair, Brittany Brewer, Lindsey Welby, and Jada Terry, the 5 on the floor for Texas Tech. Brewer will drive. She looks for a little help. She'll turn around. Her shot is stuffed by Ekelar. Her first action of the ball game, and that turns it over for the Lady Raiders. Teresa Ekelar, a 6'6 redshirt junior from Woodbridge, New Jersey, as they go inside there to Christina King, has just checked into the ball game to give them some height advantage. That's one thing that Mike Carey was worried about, was the size advantage that Texas Tech has against West Virginia.
Ashley Jones for West Virginia doing a good job of finding that running post player and getting her the ball on the move inside.
There's Jada Terry, and the ball was knocked out of bounds from behind her by Ekelar. And so Texas Tech will continue. But that was a good heady play there by Teresa to knock the ball out of the hands of Jada Terry. 15 seconds on the shot clock as Wilby will throw it in to Bree Blair. Blair will immediately put up the shot. It's an air ball. Because immediately you could tell that that ball was not going in. Davenport will get the ball, and she tries to get it to Christina King. It looked like it was going to go out of bounds, and King was able to deflect it off the backboard, but it goes to the Lady Raiders. Wow.
And again, trying to push the ball down the floor and get numbers, but Texas Tech doing a good job of getting back on defense quickly.
Here's Brewer off the glass and good, a running one-hander, but they're going to call her for travel. Man, I thought they were going to get her for a foul or a charge, and then they called the travel.
I think she
on the
took
Lady
that
Raiders.
little hop step right as she took off, and you got to keep those feet still until the ball hits the floor. You can't take that step before that, and that's where you get called for that travel.
Tech with 9 turnovers here today. West Virginia with 4 so far on the afternoon. Ray Ekelar to Davenport. Davenport up against Jada Terry. Can't get it to go, and Jada climbs up and gets the rebound. Jada Terry averages just over 6 rebounds a contest.
Doing a nice job on the defensive end. Davenport really made a good offensive move to try to get the ball inside, and Terry did a nice job on the defensive end.
Here's Grayson Bright. She's feeling it. That's her second 3 of the day. She had 6 coming in to this contest. So Grayson Bright has put up now 38 threes on the season, and she's made 8. And the ball now is stolen by Texas Tech. Here's Bright across the half-court line, and she'll wait for help. Now Brittany Brewer on the run to the bucket and hits it. And it's a 2-point contest with a minute to play before halftime.
And a little bit of running up down the floor by Texas Tech that time, giving West Virginia a little taste of their own medicine. Good find by Galen Bright of finding Brittany Brewer, who finished strong at the basket.
Here's Davenport. She puts up the 3. She can't get it to go. Rebound to West Virginia. Their 19th rebound of the ball game. They're actually out-rebounding Texas Tech here today. Now we're just at 30 seconds to play in the half. The shot clock at 21. Here's Davenport. She'll try to drive. The ball is stopped by Jada Terry. She comes down with a loose ball. The outlet to Bree Blair. 20 seconds to play in the half. Here's Bright, and now there's a charge called on Bree Blair. She would have been just a little wise there, Craig, to hold up and wait for the last shot, but she saw Grayson Bright was trying to get the ball to her, and Bree just ran over a West Virginia.
And a lot of coaches, Chuck, will tell you, if you're going to go that deep, go ahead and take it to the basket strong and try to make the shot. But it's really hard to try to make a little dump pass when you're that deep and close to the basket.
Well, Shimmy Miller talking yesterday to the media about how hard her team has been playing and how much better they're playing together since the last time those two teams played. The shot is missed. Aaron DeGreat gets the rebound. Here's Grayson Bright with a half-court shot. It'll count if it goes. It does not. And we're at halftime, and the Lady Raiders have come out here and played a spirited half and trail by 2, 34-32, and we've reached the half. Let's go to Taylor.
Sponsor of Big 12 basketball. And by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas.
Whoa, 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 whoa. And we're underway here in the third quarter as West Virginia threw it in right in front of us. They have their original 5 on the floor. Naomi Davenport, Tiana Muldrow, Cheyenne Ray, and then Christina King along with Katrina Pardee. This is Shania Ray. She has the ball stolen away by Angel Hayden, who's out there with Grayson Bright, Brittany Brewer, Jada Terry, and Zuri Sanders.
Good job by Angel Hayden that time of tipping the ball and getting her own tip and then taking control on the offensive set.
That's Aaron DeGreat instead of Jada Terry, and Aaron DeGreat ties up the game at 34 on the Lady Raider first possession here of the third quarter. So, pardon me, Aaron, with a little cutie inside, as she likes it called. 8.7 points a game is what she averages. She gets a couple there, and we're tied at 34 here in the third quarter.
And the Lady Raiders out in their zone defense, trying to make sure that the ball doesn't get inside very easy.
Davenport missing. Pardee now will try the short baseline shot over Aaron DeGreat, and she hits it. You know, a couple other things just from a statistical standpoint for West Virginia that they did not do as well as they did the last time these two teams played. The points in the paint, they only had 16 points in the paint. Lady Raiders had 12 points in the paint. And Texas Tech, like we said earlier, shot 48% from the field there in the first half of play. The halftime stats brought to you by the new Coca-Cola Sugar. More Coca-Cola flavors still without any sugar.
Brittany Brewer trying to get the ball down inside, and it's deflected over into the corner. And chasing it down is Pardee for West Virginia, but she didn't quite get it, and Texas Tech will get the ball back.
But 7 seconds on the shot clock. Grayson Bright in trouble. Gets it to Zuri Sanders. Zuri's going to have to drive and shoot, and she does, and she hits it, and she is tied, and the Lady Raiders take the lead.
And we got a one shot at the free throw because of her aggressiveness.
Yeah.
She goes to the basket. She gets the three-point shot the old-fashioned way. And she sees she's going right straight to the basket, uses the left hand on a little underneath scoop, and gets the basket and gets to try for the three-point play.
And gets to try for the lead. So we'll see if Zuri can knock it down here, and she is not able to do. So we remain tied at 36. My apologies. Just under 8.5 to play here in the third quarter. West Virginia to Davenport. Davenport slips by Zuri Sanders, gives up the shot, goes to Pardee. They're looking for something maybe a little bit easier. Back inside to Muldrow. She'll kick it out to Davenport. She'll put up the three over Brittany Brewer. Can't get it to find. Erin DeGreat right there to get the rebound. Shimmy Gray Miller much happier with the play over Erin DeGreat over the last 2.5, 3 weeks. She had a one-on-one workout with her the other day and just expressed to Erin about how much harder she's been working, how much better she's been playing. The team's been suffering with the flu, and DeGreat was able to go through a workout with Shimmy Gray Miller. Wasn't feeling the best, but Shimmy said, hey, you got to keep working to get better, and she has been doing so. And Brewer with another travel. She tried to go to the hoop there.
And we had a little too much dribbling on the end if you're Texas Tech. What they're looking for is good ball movement to try to find that hole to get the ball inside. If you're West Virginia, you did a really nice job of pressuring the ball outside and making the turnover.
So for Brittany Brewer, her third turnover. It's the team's 11th. Let's see if West Virginia can convert this time. Muldrow going inside to King. She gets by DeGreat. Puts up the shot. Is stuffed by DeGreat. And the Lady Raiders come down with a basketball. Boy, West Virginia's getting knocked in the chin here, and they are just not responding. And their coach, Mike Carey, is not going to be happy about that. DeGreat looking for help. Will take the shot. Rims out on her, but Zuri Sanders with a rebound. Sticks back. Good. Zuri Sanders gives the Lady Raiders a 2-point lead. She does a great job, Craig, of going up and getting rebounds. Where she has struggled is getting it to go back in when she puts the shot up like that, but not today on that shot.
Texas Tech back into their zone, making sure that the 14 shooting from the three-point line is something that West Virginia is going to try to keep doing.
This is Jones with the shot. She misses. King, though, is there to clean it up with the left-hand layup for West Virginia. Now they're going to apply some pressure, and they're able to get the ball into Angel Hayden. And we haven't really seen a whole lot of that today. A little bit of a surprise. Brewer in the paint, turn her around. Good for the left-hander, Brittany Brewer. And that's the thing about the Lady Raiders. All of their bigs are left-handed. Quickly comes West Virginia the other way.
Texas Tech.
Jones goes to King. King with a reverse layup underneath. And she's becoming a problem for the Lady Raiders as Christina King now with 8 points on the day. She's 4 of 10 from the field, but able to go the last couple of trips inside and get some points in the paint for the Mountaineers as we're tied here at 40 with about 5:45 to play in the third quarter. Erin DeGreat off the feed from Brittany Brewer. She lays it up and in left-handed.
And both times on the left-hand side, both players have gotten the ball, dipped that right shoulder, and come across with that left hand and made it look good on the inside play.
You cannot leave Katrina Pardee wide open there. She knocks down the three to give the Mountaineers a one. In the Big 12 is they have players that lead in minutes played, including Shania Ray, who leads the league in minutes played at 39.2 points per game.
That's pretty much a full game.
And Tiana Muldrow is tied for fifth at 36.8 points a ball game as the Lady Raiders turn it over again, their 12th turnover of the game.
The zone defense has been really good at stopping the penetration of West Virginia and forcing them to take that three-point shot. Of course, West Virginia hit one the last time up. If they come back and start hitting them, look at for Texas Tech to go to their man.
This is Pardee. Her shot's partially blocked by Jada Terry, who just checked in the game. But King comes down with yet another rebound. Ashley Jones penetrates, kicks it out to Shania Ray. She dribbles inside. The shot clock goes off. Doesn't matter because Jada Terry comes down with the rebound. Here's Lindsay Wilby, who just checked in during that timeout. Lindsay has the ball stripped out of her hands, but she is called for a travel. 43-42, timeout on the floor. You're watching Texas Tech TV on Fox. 85 losers today to the Cowboys. The 10th ranked team in the nation, Kansas, falling at Baylor 80-64. And the 17th ranked team in the nation, Oklahoma, loses at Hilton Coliseum against Iowa State 88-80. And Texas falls to TCU 87-71. The Red Raiders play tonight in Manhattan with a chance to take over sole possession of first place in the Big 12 with a victory over K-State at 7 o'clock tonight. Here's Tiana Muldrow. Muldrow gets it to Shania Ray. She's open, passes up the three. Muldrow won't pass up the shot. She shoots an air ball, and she was kind of tripped up there at the top of the key area by Lindsay Wilby. No foul was called because it was really more on Muldrow than it was on Lindsay Wilby, and the ball goes out of bounds to the Lady Raiders. And
Lindsay Wilby did a good job of coming from the weak side of the zone and putting pressure on that free throw line jump shot.
Angel Hayden was coming over here to the far side away from the bench, and Jada Terry was calling for the ball. Wilby loses it. Ayanna McKenzie now on the floor for Texas Tech. Jada Terry is calling for the basketball, just screaming for it. Ayanna McKenzie is able to kind of wrestle herself away from a West Virginia player. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Hayden puts up the shot. It's stopped by Christina King. The Mountaineers come away with the outlet. Here's Muldrow on the fast break. Layup good. Zuri Sanders could not get in front of her, and Muldrow is just lethal. She's so athletic, able to bring that ball down and go right back up with her left hand.
And a really nice look down the floor and a good pass, lead pass by Shania Ray, who just got caught with a foul, reaching in against Angel Hayden.
Bree Blair into the ball game now for Texas Tech. Also, Brittany Brewer checks in for Ayanna McKenzie.
You know, if you're Texas Tech, when you go to the basket like that, you don't want to give West Virginia the opportunity to come back and run up and down the floor.
And on the inbounds, Wilby gets it to Brewer, and Brewer is then fouled by Christina King.
Good, strong, aggressive move. The last two moves she's had like that, she's got a walking call, but she put the ball on the floor first and then took towards the basket.
Wilby throws it into Jada Terry, who loses on the floor, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Pardee. I think if Jada had waited just a second there, she'd have been better off. Davenport gets the bounce pass from Shania Ray. Can't go to the hoop because she's cut off there. Here's Ray with a shot and missing. Rebound bounces all the way out to Angel Hayden. And Hayden does a good job there of fighting off Davenport. Here's Bree Blair. Blair trying to go inside is denied by Shania Ray. There's Angel Hayden. Lady Raiders making this a game of it, Craig.
And they are playing really smart basketball on the offensive end. They're not putting themselves in dangerous situations by turning the ball over and giving fast break opportunities.
Two looks right there that they would love to have back. Bounce pass by Shania Ray to Davenport. Layup good.
And Shania Ray has been the impetus of the last two really good fast break opportunities by getting the ball to the middle of the floor and finding the open player for the easy look.
Makes it a 5-point lead here for West Virginia. Here's Brittany Brewer. Brewer takes it to the hoop, and she is fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line with a chance to make it a 2-point game.
You know, Brittany Brewer's doing a really nice job being aggressive on the offensive end and taking the ball to the hoop. And West Virginia has not yet been able to get over and get in front of her, and as a result, Brittany's scoring.
And she did a better job there, Craig, of using her long legs to take the step without taking the extra step. Rebound comes down to West Virginia. Muldrow. I thought Brewer was going to have a chance to get her own missed free throw there for a second. We can keep this a one-possession game. You have an opportunity to really steal one here today in Lubbock for the Lady Raiders standpoint.
Again, playing the zone defense, trying to stop the ball from penetrating.
There's Davenport slipping by Brewer, and she goes inside. And Davenport's had a really good game today as well. I mean, she's not shot the ball particularly well. She's just made her presence known, particularly here in the second half. She's now 3 of 13 from the field, but she has 7 points, has a couple of rebounds today for West Virginia. Wilby puts up the shot. She banks it over Shania Ray.
Wilby doing a really nice job of fighting off good pressure defense and getting the shot up.
Davenport nearly double dribbled after Hayden knocked the ball away from her. Davenport played at Trinity Valley Community College in Texas, in the Fort Worth area, Athens, Texas. and played for a national championship here in Lubbock last year. She lost that ball game and had been on 2 runner-ups. One of her teammates played for Gulf Coast in 2016, and they won the national championship, as Shania Ray will have an easy layup after Bree Blair was knocked to the floor by one of her own players and just couldn't do anything to get any defense going back for Texas Tech. So now it's all the way out to an 8-point lead for the Mountaineers, just like that.
And it's the fast break opportunities that West Virginia's getting that's got them that lead. And what has happened on the offensive end, if you're Texas Tech, is you've taken a quick shot or you've taken one where everybody's by the basket, nobody getting back, and they're getting out of some numbered opportunities for the easy basket. But a good aggressive move, again, by Brittany Brewer. Now she's got to connect on the free throw line to make it a really good move.
And that's the 5th team foul on West Virginia for the remainder of the quarter. Texas Tech will be shooting 2 free throws. The Lady Raiders have yet to commit a foul here in this quarter. Zuri Sanders now in the lineup. Brewer back to the free throw line. Brittany today, she hits that one. Brewer today is 1 for 3 from the free throw line. Under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. Jones thought about passing off, did not. Looked like a walk, but they didn't call it. She'll take the 3 missing. Davenport with yet another rebound. Back over to Ashley Jones, playing with the pink shoes today. Davenport drives underneath the bucket, goes to Davenport, to Christina King. King with a turnaround that goes down.
Texas Tech allowing that penetration in that zone. That's one of the reasons you're in it, is to try to clog up that middle and make them, force them to shoot from the outside. They're not shooting well from the 3-point line, but you got to keep them out of the middle.
The great Zuri Sanders, she'll take a 3, and she grabs it with 7 seconds to go in the quarter. Let's see if they can hold off West Virginia here at the end of 3. Jones will put up the shot at the buzzer. It does not go down, and it's a 6-point deficit for the Lady Raiders if we've completed 3 periods of play. Our 4th and final quarter comes up next. Texas Tech trails 56-50. You're watching this quarter, and that's probably going to mean getting some threes and getting some big stops and not turning the ball over as much as they did there in the 3rd quarter. They only have 14 turnovers here today, which is a far cry from what they had last time in Morgantown.
10 minutes left to go in the game. If you're West Virginia, you've got to do what you've done to get the lead, and that's push the ball down the floor and get fast break opportunities. If you're Texas Tech, you got to do just exactly what Bright did that time. Get the ball inside, try to score on the inside, and take advantage of your big game inside.
A bobble there by Aaron DeGrate leads to a jump ball, and it goes to West Virginia. Lady Raiders employ Zuri Sanders, Lindsay Wilby, Grayson Bright, along with Brittany Brewer and Aaron DeGrate. This is Ashley Jones.
Very successful 2-3 zone for Texas Tech in the 2nd half. They're staying in it, and they're going to force West Virginia to beat them from the outside and try to stop the inside play.
Pardee swings it around to Davenport. She'll drive inside. She's been pretty effective with that here in the 2nd half, and she is right there, too, as Sanders goes to the floor.
West Virginia doing a really nice job against the zone of running their offense and penetrating and getting the ball inside.
How about that high-low from Brittany Brewer to Aaron DeGrate as Brittany throws it up high and DeGrate's able to come down with it. She has really good hands. Aaron stands 6'6" and gets the 2 there. But you got to start getting stops at some point in time. I realize there's 8:55 to go in the contest, but you can't be in a position of just trading baskets here the entire quarter. At some point in time, you're going to have to get some defensive stops, like right there by Lindsay Wilby. Let's see if she can go coast to coast. She does a little juke move, misses, but right there is Zuri Sanders, and she lays it up and in. Zuri, the trailer.
The zone defense started at that time. Weak side, Lindsay Wilby comes across and sees it, grabs the ball on the weak side of the zone, forces the action on the other end, comes up a little bit short, but running the floor and getting a second chance opportunity, Zuri Sanders. Nice job of following, running the floor.
And that's what we're talking about in terms of playing hard, because Zuri Sanders, her motor runs extremely high, and she does not give up on plays.
On a breakaway layup, never assume that that layup's going in. Always follow that contested. Even though that player may be uncontested, you follow, because you can't ever assume that that ball is going in.
Zuri, a 45% free throw shooter who has struggled, nails that one, and it's just like that, a 3-point contest here in Lubbock. Pardee nearly walked with it. Goes to Davenport. She goes right inside again. Somebody's going to have to get out there and stop her, Craig.
She can't penetrate between a baseline zone player and a top zone player. Somebody's got to pinch down inside and force her to kick the ball back out.
Davenport in double figures. She's got 11. She's the fourth Mountaineer to be in double figures so far here today, and there's a whistle away from the basketball and a foul. Foul's going to go against West Virginia. And it's going to be on Teresa Ekelar, who just checked into the ball game for the Mountaineers. Jada Terry comes now in for Aaron DeGray.
And it's 6'6". Ekelar, the largest player tall-wise on the West Virginia squad, and making sure that maybe she can neutralize some of that height that Texas Tech has.
Here's Brewer with a running one-handed little hook shot there, and Brittany Brewer now has 13 on the day. So 3 Lady Raiders in double figures. Zuri Sanders got 10. Brewer leads all with 13. Lindsay Wilby has 11. Tiana Muldrow has 18 points to lead all scorers in the game. Katrina Pardee has 14. It seems to be a quiet 14. Here is Davenport with a way outside 3 to give herself 14 points now in the contest.
And she has not had a good night shooting from the three-point line, but she has really had a good year at the three-point line, shooting in the 42-43% category.
She has 15 points here in the second half. A steal by the Mountaineers. Here's Shania Ray. She's cut off by Grayson Bright. Howard trailing right there is Davenport, and she now has 16 on the day. And for Davenport, I mean, she's just been lighting it up here in the second half.
And quickly, we go from a 3-point lead to an 8-point lead, and those turnovers raise their ugly head and allow West Virginia to run the ball up and down the floor if you're Texas Tech.
Grayson Bright. Bright sits at the shot, won't go. Davenport is right there. Davenport with her 4th rebound. She's got 16 points. She's 7 of 17 on the day. But Davenport in the first half was 1 of 11. So she's 6 of 6 in the second half. And they woke her up at halftime. Here's Ray with a 3, missing everything. Ball is safe from going out of bounds there by Pardee. Good hustle by her. And now you have a whistle and a timeout by Shimmy Gray Miller. She is not happy with her ball club. 65-57 with 6:28 to play in the contest. Timeout on the floor. You're watching Texas Tech TV on Fox.
And who are you walking in honor of today? My aunt. Your aunt? Is your aunt a breast cancer survivor? Yeah. Very cool. Thank you, Illyria. Guys.
All right, it's the Play for K game here today in Lubbock. Everybody wearing pink and supporting the breast cancer awareness and the K Yao Fund. Coach Shimmy Gray Miller talking yesterday to the media about how she is encouraging her team to embrace a K Yao quote that when life kicks you, you let it kick you forward. And that's what she needs her team to do now, is to play forward and try to get as many points as they can here to close this deficit.
Kay Yao, a very, very infamous coach in the women's basketball collegiate level at North Carolina State, transformed what she, once she was attacked by that dreadful cancer disease, she made sure that research was going to continue, and the coaches surrounded her, and the Kay Yao Foundation and the Kay Yao research centers have just done tremendous work. And shout out to all the women's collegiate coaches that participate in Play for K. And I tell you, it's a great thing that they have done with women's basketball.
Jada Terry checks out. Coming back into the game is Aaron DeGray. In fact, for West Virginia, this is their second Play for K game, and then they'll have their own coming up later this season. Naomi Davenport has had a tremendous second half. She has kept and made West Virginia be in this ball game and have the lead that they have at this point in time. Here's Jones. She dribbles right through the lane, missing. Rebound comes down to Aaron DeGray. She'll throw it on the outlet to Zuri Sanders. Here's Zuri going hard to the hole. And let's see if they call her for a charge or a block. I think they're going to call Zuri Sanders for a charge. She went right at Ashley Jones there.
I think Ashley Jones, let's look at it, was outside the arc and had her feet set. And it's Pardee that took
Pardee,
the charge.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Pardee.
Jones kind of came up looking like she had taken a charge.
Yeah.
But it's a quick. And speaking of Pardee, I was just going to read this note about Katrina Pardee. Schur family has really been affected by cancer as Davenport fights for it, and DeGrate comes away with a rebound. 2 aunts, 2 grandmothers, and a grandfather who have battled cancer, and an aunt who recently was declared cancer-free this winter. But Katrina Pardee obviously understands the dreadfulness of that disease. All right, now there's Ashley Jones committing a foul against Angel Hayden. And the Lady Raiders will get it back, and for West Virginia, that's their 4th team foul. It's critical, 1 more, and Tech will be shooting free throws. We may need some free throws down the stretch. Lady Raiders with just 1 team foul. Brewer was fighting off Jones and was then sliding with her feet and commits the travel.
Jones putting a lot of pressure on the ball and trying to prevent it from going inside. And Brittany got a little anxious and again shuffled her feet a little bit before she took the first dribble.
For Texas Tech, it's their 17th turnover, but West Virginia's only, 18th, but West Virginia's only converted on 16 points off of those 18 turnovers. Now they have a chance right here. That's not a lot of points for the turnovers that Texas Tech has committed, especially for a team like West Virginia that really thrives on putting that kind of pressure on a ball club. And a lot of the turnovers today have been somewhat unforced. Pardee spinning all the way around Lindsey Wilby, and she gets that one to fall. Boy,
good step back jump shot by Pardee that time as the defense was set, and she stepped back and hit a really nice 15-foot jump shot to give West Virginia a 9-point lead.
She's got 16. Here's Brewer. She can't get it to fall. DeGrate, though, with the rebound. She slips and falls to the ground. The ball goes out of bounds. Man. Davenport with 16. Pardee with 16. Muldrow with 18. And then King with 10.
There's those 4 players in double figures. Yeah. Very similar to what happened at West Virginia against Texas Tech.
But a terrific catch there by DeGrate. She just couldn't maintain her balance, and they leave the lane wide open there for Naomi Davenport. Coach Carey telling me last night at their shoot-around that she's been their biggest surprise of the year, and she's playing for a terrific player, Tyneese Martin, who has gone through 2 foot surgeries. She's not going to play this year, so that means she'll be back next year as Wilby is stuffed out of bounds. But what a find for West Virginia. Davenport's the 6-foot junior. I mean, she was a terrific player for Trinity Valley, but she comes out in her first game and scores 32 points against TCU. That's the most in a Big 12 debut since 2001 when a Baylor player did it. Here's DeGrate underneath, can't get it to go. Sanders is right there to try to put it back up, but she is fouled as she does that. Sheila Lambert in 2001 was the last time anybody had a better debut than Naomi Davenport.
She also played for Trinity Valley.
Yeah.
No, excuse me. She played for Grayson County. Bill Brock.
Bill Brock.
Assistant coach at Baylor right now.
Sanders goes to the free throw line, and a one-time assistant for Texas Tech under the Christy Curry regime.
Yep.
Thought they had a good hand there. It just didn't work out.
Yep.
But it's worked out for Kim Mulkey. Here goes Sanders back to the free throw line. Missouri cannot get it to fall, and for Texas Tech today, they have struggled from the free throw line. Now 8 of 15 on the day. Tech is 6 of 8 from distance, but a lot of those threes, Craig, coming in the first half of play. They're like 5 of 7 in the first half.
West Virginia using the clock a little bit, but since they've got the lead, making sure that they get the opportunity that they're looking for, and look for them to penetrate after passing the ball on the outside on the perimeter.
This 11-point lead, their really biggest of the ball game. Here's Pardee to make it a 14-point advantage with a 3 there, 72-58, as the Mountaineers go up by 14 with 3 minutes to play.
Inside out that time by Ashley Jones as she turned around and penetrated, but got the ball out to Pardee right at the buzzer of the shot clock.
Here's DeGrate to Bree Blair. Blair with a 3. She can't get it to fall. Sanders with a rebound, and she gets it to go back up and in. Zuri Sanders has played her heart out today. 2
really nice offside rebounds by Zuri Sanders the last 2 times down the floor. Doing a really nice job on the boards and getting rid of the ball quick on her putback.
She has 12 points and 6 rebounds. Brittany Brewer leads all Lady Raiders scores with 13. And then Lindsey Wilby has 11. And Mike Carey wants to talk things over with his troops with 2:33 to go here in the basketball game, and West Virginia leading by 12, 72-60. Craig, the biggest thing for West LC is prohibited. right, Texas Tech trails here 72-60.
And you might see Texas Tech come out in their man, which I think they're going to do, to try to speed up the action a little bit and make sure that they get the opportunities to try to call back in the game. Brittany Brewer on a nice steal that time.
Shania Ray almost double dribbled with it and had to kind of look back the other way, and Brewer came up with it. And Bree Blair's shot won't fall and goes out of bounds.
And as well as they shot the ball at the three-point line in the first half, in the first 3 quarters, Texas Tech not being able to connect on those three-point opportunities to try to get back in the game quick.
5 of 7 in the first half for the game now. Texas Tech is 6 of 10. They're 23 of 48 from the field at 48%. West Virginia trying to hang on here and get a victory in Lubbock, as Jada Terry's going to be called for a reach in there on Katrina Pardee. So you're going to put a pretty good free throw shooter there at the line. Pardee is a 79%er.
And West Virginia, pretty good free throw shooting team.
One of the things that Coach Shimmy Gray-Miller talked about yesterday to the media was that she's not into moral victories, but you have to look at wins within the game. And this, probably with the exception of the Kansas win at Allen Fieldhouse, which is the lone win that the Lady Raiders have had in Big 12 play, this has probably been one of their better games, kind of start to finish, even though it looks like it's not going to end in the result that they wanted to. But just overall, they've played much, much better than they have in other stretches of the season, Craig.
Absolutely. Offensively, they've been under control. They've gotten the shots they wanted. Their bigs inside have been aggressive with the drives from the free throw lane, and they've turned the ball over, but it's usually been in the front court or trying to penetrate and make something happen. So I think Coach Miller's got to be impressed with the fact that their offense and their offensive sets have produced the points that they wanted.
I'll tell you who Mike Carey's going to be impressed with is his player from Trinity Valley, Naomi Davenport, as Grayson Bright files Tiana Muldrow, who's really been held to not a whole lot here today. I mean, by her standards, because Muldrow in the first half had 16 points. Greg, she only has 1 bucket here in the second half. She's got 18. Now, here's the problem is that Davenport, who had 3 at the half, now has 18. She's got 15 points. She's really single-handedly won the ball game for West Virginia here today, because without Davenport's play and her aggressiveness of going inside, West Virginia is in a much more of a struggle right now than they are.
No doubt. And another person that I'm sure Coach from West Virginia is really happy with is Christina King. And I'll tell you, because she's got 12 rebounds and coming off the bench and being the leading rebounder, that's a plus on your side of the category.
So Shania Ray will go to the free throw line, and Shania has 3 points and 2 rebounds, but has done a good job of directing traffic for West Virginia, as Christina King has a double-double, technically with 13 rebounds and 10 points. Christina Pardee with 19 points and 4 rebounds on the day, as Texas Tech now down by 14, and West Virginia will have a chance to pull away and make this score look a little bit more lopsided than this game really was.
It was, Chuck. It was a game right up to about the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter, and West Virginia was able to get a couple of good, quick runouts and easy baskets, and from that point on, Texas Tech was playing back on their heels and trying to force the action instead of let the action happen to them.
There's Christina King, puts up the shot. The rebound came down to Davenport, but her shot did not hit the rim. It went off the backboard. There was a big fight for it, and on the shot clock violation, it goes back to Texas Tech. Jada Terry, who's had a gutty performance today, goes to Brittany Brewer, and it just wouldn't go down.
And that's
We've had a couple of those today.
And that can be the difference between being in the game in the last 2 minutes or being 12 or 14 down. And that is those easy shots that you get like that, they have got to fall. And Brittany and Jada and Aaron DeGreat, though, have done a nice job offensively inside. They've had a few turnovers trying to force the action a little bit, but all in all, they've probably done one of their better jobs as a trio inside.
Lindsay Wilby kind of showing some ball handling skills that would have been maybe impressive to the Harlem Globetrotters, who were here earlier this week in Lubbock. And that's the end of the contest, as Coach Shimmy Gray-Miller and Mike Carey exchange handshakes there as we could close this ball.